All right. Well, looks like the Brian Mills, the ex-CIA agent, is back.
Yes, he is. For Take It To
Take
the
It
Limit.
To.
Oh, how we missed him.
Yes. Now, to be fair, Taken was a movie that took a lot of people by surprise. I mean, yeah.
Took me by surprise.
It was taken all right by surprise because it looked like, yeah, okay, it's an action movie that stars Liam Neeson for some reason. Not showing it to critics. I don't know why. I guess I'll go ahead and see this bullshit. And I was like, wow, that movie was awesome.
It blew us away.
It blew us away.
It kicked
Tight
us in
script.
the face. Yeah.
It was that kind of like go after a movie you want. It's funny because every year that a bad Punisher movie comes out, it's followed by a good Punisher movie that's not called The Punisher.
Yeah, there's been like 3 great Punisher movies, not called Punisher.
Right. Because like
And
when the Thomas Jane Punisher came out, then that was followed by Man on Fire. It's like, that's a real Punisher movie. And then after the second, the Ray Stevenson Punisher Warzone came out, Taken came out. You're like, no, that's the Punisher right there.
Kevin Bacon did one too at some point.
I never saw that one. I heard that one.
Okay,
Was,
well, I
was
heard
terrible.
that one was like, oh, well, somebody said it was good to me.
Really?
I never saw it. Yeah, sorry. But you know what? This I have to say, Taken pretty much took Liam Neeson to that whole new level of action star.
It did.
To where he somehow managed to beat the shit out of Chuck Norris off his mighty throne.
This was the movie
And,
that all of a sudden everyone's like, no, he's the new Chuck Norris.
Yeah, because everyone realized the guy has fucking skills.
Well, it is funny. Like, people woke up and were like, oh, wait a minute. He trained Batman. And he trained Obi-Wan Kenobi. How did we not see this before? He was Darkman.
Yeah,
he trained Patrick Swayze.
He trained every motherfucker. And in this movie, he trains Maggie Grace.
Right. So everybody's been waiting for him to come back. Brian Mills. What's he going to do now? He's going to go to Europe and fuck up some more people. So the premise for this movie is basically, his daughter's getting older. She's got to take her driving test, whatever.
Yeah, but older, like a year older.
Yes, yeah. She's
finally getting her driver's
somehow
license.
Maggie Grace, who in actual real life is 40 years old, is still playing a college student. But whatever, doesn't matter. The thing is, what's interesting about this is how they've retconned Famke Janssen as his wife, because I don't know if you guys remember how in the first Taken, she was a bitch.
Oh yeah.
She treated him like shit.
Can you blame her? I mean, whenever she was hanging out with this guy, they were fucking targets. I mean, nothing good came out of that relationship because your daughter gets kidnapped, what else can you do?
Well, before that,
let me keep that guy away from my kid.
He shows up at the birthday party, and she's like, I'm with my new rich husband now. What you got?
They kind of established that he was a bit of a deadbeat absentee father, though. He's
Hey,
kind of lame and unreliable.
The man was working.
He was too busy kicking ass.
Exactly. To be the man she wanted him to be. Whatever.
Well, we're all married to him, but she doesn't want to be anymore.
We understand. We're men.
Yeah.
So this time out, you know what? She's cool. Her rich husband has left her, and she's kind of looking back at Brian, going like, you know what? Maybe that wasn't so bad.
Yeah, you got me in some fun adventures that I never wanted to be in, but
daughter's growing up, she's gonna leave.
How bad can it get?
But the family this time, he's got security work to do in Istanbul, and he says like, look, I'm gonna be here. If you guys want to come hang out, it'd be cool. If not, he's there, does his job. Like, well, I guess they're not coming. Daddy, we decided to surprise you. Let's have a Turkish vacation. Well, all right. But
we should hang out in Turkey, right next to Albania, where that shit went down.
Yeah. Now, little does Brian Mills realize it's like the chickens have come home to roost, because all those goddamn white slavers and kidnappers he killed. Well, their father, or at least the father of one of them, has decided to get the Albanian mafia together to get revenge. And yeah, you say to yourself like, well, those guys kidnapped his daughter. They don't care. They don't care that the scales have been balanced, that those guys were douchebags. They're like, I don't care what my son did. All I know is you killed him, and I will kill you and your family.
Now you die. Yeah. I love that this movie actually showed all those bad guys from the first movie actually coming back in coffins getting buried.
Right.
Where I'm like, wow, I wish they would have made a Commando 2 so they could have had all every single person that Arnold Schwarzenegger killed.
Now, the thing is, as Corey will attest to as he goes to Turkey quite a bit, just got back from there, if you actually go to Turkey, it's not that bad. It's kind of a metropolitan city. Not the whole country, but certain parts you go to. We're very metropolitan.
No
but to look at
way.
this movie, no. You might as well be in Afghanistan.
It looks like it looks like a war torn third world country.
Apparently, you can just throw hand grenades all about the town, and everyone's just like, "That's life here."
I love it because there is a point. We'll get into where it comes from, but there's a point in the movie where Liam Neeson is telling Maggie Grace, "I want you to take these grenades and just lob them at an area," and they blow up, and the people of Turkey don't even flinch anymore. It's like so many bombs have gone off. They're just like, all right, whatever.
Yeah, I'm like, what? Do kids play hot potato with grenades around this place? But it was funny how she was using the new iPhone 5. So I'm like, so what? Do they give you a bag of grenades so you can work that that Apple map that they give you, that piece of shit? I was like, wow. All this movie made me think is like, wow. You know what? I wish Siri was replaced by Liam Neeson's voice, so he can give me the most detailed description of how to get out of a city.
I'm sure
that
you can ever get the apps you can get. So anyway, so what happens is the Albanian mafia, led by the guy. I can't remember the actor's name.
Rade Serbedzija.
That's him.
He looks like he's the father of the guy who plays the most interesting man in the world.
He's the guy in Batman Begins who goes, "Nice coat."
Yeah. But the thing is, he organizes his crew of Albanian mafia, and he's like, "We're gonna capture Liam Neeson and his family. We're gonna bring him back to Albania in front of all these women who somehow give a shit, and we're gonna murder him here. So everybody go." Now, this ain't just Joe Schmo that you're going after. It's Liam Neeson. So you can try to be sneaky, try to follow him all you want, but he's going to pick up on it. He knows he's got a tail.
Yeah, didn't any of these motherfuckers watch The Gray?
Exactly.
So this guy fought the elements.
He's able to tell his ex-wife, "Hey, you know what? You get out of the cab, you go run. I'm going to take care of these assholes." Calls his daughter. Somebody's trying to kidnap us. Be ready for it. Sure enough, they do take him and the wife.
He seems, yeah.
I mean, the thing is, for him, it's just like...
another day.
It's just a Saturday.
Yeah. It just seems like he's kidnapped by the amateur hour gang.
That is true.
It's like, we're gonna put you in an elaborate kidnapping plot, but then we're gonna just walk away and leave you with plenty of time to collude with other people.
That's why I was wondering, like, okay, what kind of kidnappers are these where their main objective is to kill this guy, yet they capture him and they spend half the movie just hanging out talking with him.
Well, the thing, yeah, you know what, Grant is right about it being amateur hour, because they start out very motivated. We are going to capture him and his family, torture him, but we're going to bring him back to our homeland so we can kill him in front of all the people who are related to the people that he killed. But then, once they capture him, they don't really have a solid plan. They capture him and Famke Janssen, but as you mentioned, they chain him up and then walk away. It's like, has nobody seen a Bond movie?
No.
Or
It's
Batman?
pathetic. I feel like
It is in Istanbul. Maybe they don't have movies there yet. I don't know.
In the first Taken, you get to see Liam Neeson go ahead and like destroy an entire rape factory,
right?
And just like take down almost an entire country. It seems like you're like, holy shit! And here it's just like Gary and his chess club all decide that they're gonna kidnap Liam Neeson and think it's gonna be cool. And no, it's just not torn apart.
No,
it is one of these things where he's wiping out so many of them that there's a point where even like the three guys who are left have to look at each other and go, What are we even doing here?
Yeah.
I don't even know how to hold this gun. Why?
But the whole time, I mean, oh man, the dialogue in this movie is atrocious. I mean, I was like, okay, what the fuck am I watching? Am I watching Taken 2 or National Lampoon's Taken 2 Electric Boogaloo? I mean, I was like, what, is he Clark Griswold now? I mean, really? It's like, man, this is, it's so bad. There's a point where he calls up his daughter, and I think he calls up his daughter, and he gives her like these directions on like what to do, and these instructions that he gives her last like 15 minutes of the movie. He's like, I want you to take a right, and then when you see the old man by the corner, I want you to go to take another left, and then when you see the white cloud pass by the second building, then make another left, and then just stay there for 5 minutes until somebody rapes you, and then you keep running and you keep going, and you're like, okay, who the fuck wrote
Hold
this
up,
shit?
what was that rape part you
Oh
said?
yeah.
Go back there.
It's funny because I I was with the movie up until that part. I mean, like going along with it, I'm like, hey, I don't expect it to be great because with the first Taken, they caught lightning in a bottle because that's basically like a basic direct-to-video action story that they somehow managed to make actually really good. I mean, Liam Neeson brought it, and it was a tighter script. It was, and you know, it worked. It was like, wow.
It was tight, and it moved at a fast pace.
I felt like they tackled this seedy underbelly that is rarely discussed in film about like these slave,
the white slavery and
the raping slave
human
trade
trafficking,
thing.
and with here, you know, it's more personal. It's out in the streets, but I still felt a sense of tension knowing that his family's being tracked and these guys are coming for him. I was really with it. I'm like, hey, you know, I know it's not going to be as good,
sure,
but it's pulling me in more than I expected. I'm all with this.
Okay, well, I tried to be with it and I couldn't. Like,
I'm with Leon on this.
I was going with it. I was like, man, I'm feeling it. This might, you know, maybe the reviews are wrong. But once you got to him being kidnapped and him pulling out a phone and talking to his daughter Maggie Grace, and it became Google Maps the movie, where he's like, okay, I heard this. Draw a Venn diagram. Not joking.
I thought that was actually kind of fun.
I want you to pull the pin out of the grenade. Count to 3 so I can hear it.
1, 2, 3. Dad?
Now draw a circle on the map. With the hotel in the middle. And the circumference at 4.5 kilometers. Okay. Do the circles intersect at any points?
Yeah, 2 points.
I want you to go to the point where the circles intersect at the east. I want you to take one of the guns, get to a rooftop, wait for my call.
Okay.
You thought it was fun, but I mean...
I was like, oh, that's a nice, interesting way to try and, like, map coordinates to try and figure out where you'd be, and I was like, oh, that's...
Well, honestly,
it's loose, but she didn't actually find the exact spot, but she got pretty close.
Had that been in like a Mission Impossible movie, which kind of it's kind of playful, I would have been okay with it. But here it felt completely inappropriate. It kind of like...
It felt stupid is what it felt like. Especially when they bring in the throwing of the hand grenades. Just any random place. Yeah. Where I'm like, wow, this isn't stirring up the police, the military, that some crazy white bitch has gone a little too wild.
I feel like we saw that
grenades all over the place.
The police don't have very good funding. They had the worst, like, crumpled up cars that like couldn't handle any sort of police chase. Yeah.
But still, there's a grenade.
They don't collect taxes. Apparently,
there's an explosion that happens, and some guys in a bar, or they're watching a game. They just kind of like look over their shoulder and go, "Hey, maybe you should go check that out." Yeah. No shit. I mean, fucking World War III's breaking out. And everyone's more interested in a game than fucking explosions going on outside.
One of the issues I found I had was I felt like in the first one, and you can't help but compare it to the first one.
Oh, sure.
But in the first one, the action scenes were like really nice and tight, and you actually really felt the impact of each blow. But here, I kept saying like. It was, like, awkward how they would kind of shoot things. Like, you would see him kind of punch someone, and all of a sudden, they'd fall, and then the next scene, they're dead, but you're not even sure that they died? And
like,
what?
This was another one of those movies that suffered from having good fight choreography, but a really terrible guy on camera who just kept quick cuts back and forth to the point to where you couldn't make out what was going on. Like, I could kind of piece together what was going on. I was like, you know what? If you just let the camera sit and just film it as it was... I liked how this was choreographed, but you just patched this together in such a way. It was like, fuck, man, I don't know.
Wow, you know what? I wish once again, I wish I could have seen what you were watching, because there was a part where I honestly thought Liam Neeson was playing fucking patty cake.
Well, yeah.
with one of the fighters. There's some guy in a jogging suit where I'm like, wow, was this fucking choreographed by a 10-year-old girl? I mean, it looked that bad. It looked that embarrassing.
Some of it was a little weird and like shaky and muddled. Yeah.
And did you notice how like some of the deaths toward the end, you're like, that was a death.
Yeah.
I was like, it looked like he just kind of like hit the guy in the face, and suddenly the guy went blank. I'm like, I don't understand what just happened.
Once again, it looked like when kids pretend to snap their friend's neck.
Right.
That's what it looked like.
It
It looked like a string of pretend kills. And I'm like, wow, guys, you were really fucking up, because like, I mean, you can't help but think about how you like just exhilarating that first Taken movie was, and you watch this is like amateur hour all of a sudden.
Yeah.
And it had that same thing that I felt like watching Die Hard 2. Where I'm like, wow, you guys absolutely had no real ideas where to go with this. I mean, you had no place to take Taken 2. I mean, at all. And where it seemed like it seemed like this was like filmed from the first draft of a script that should have been worked on a whole lot more. Because like there was nothing original here. You kind of knew how predictable it was.
It was very predictable.
And Famke Janssen, I was like, wow, you know what? She reminded me of a dog that you tell to play dead, and because every moment, every moment. Well, they gave her nothing to do except play the kidnapped victim. Yeah,
then wake up. Oh, you're not ready to. Oh, wait, I'm dead.
I mean, but there's so many moments of just bad like filmmaking here.
Yeah.
I mean, when you see the daughter like making her escape, and she's running in her bikini, and she needs to find clothes. She goes to a locker room where she's just opening up lockers, and she manages to find an outfit that is perfectly sized, perfectly fitted. Sometimes I can forgive that, but I mean, when it's so like when she's wearing like just tight, like ass hugging jeans, I'm like, okay, you know what? But
as a co-host, I got to stop you because
I'll forgive that.
For me, there's nothing bad about seeing Maggie Grace in a bikini running.
There is. She's a skinny bitch, but she's a hot skinny bitch.
I can look at that chick's legs all day.
Okay, but where I could have forgiven that until I saw the car chase scene, which made me think, wow, Liam Neeson needs to be a fucking driving school instructor, because I don't know how you would like fail at his course with a guy yelling at you, like giving you the most extreme driving course lesson ever in the history of driving lessons.
Man, I tell you what,
you have no choice but to pay attention, because there's a good chance you're going to get your fucking neck snapped.
I got to say, like, I so enjoyed that part, but like for the wrong reasons. Like I was, it was unintentionally funny to me, but I kept thinking, I was like, wow, this is why I didn't have my dad teach me how to drive, because he is the ultimate. Now, turn right here, faster, go faster,
keep going.
I'm trying. Just do it. Make this corner right now.
Yeah, he only had 2 lines: go faster and keep going.
Yeah.
But Dad, there's a brick wall. Keep going.
It's like see, if you had learned to drive early in the movie, you wouldn't have this problem right now.
This would complete your skills.
But you have to appreciate that, like, she wasn't even good enough to pass the driving test, yet she was driving like Mario Andretti through those streets.
I was like, what is she, one of these like Bourne projects where I'm like, wow, she looks like she's fucking driving better than I could. Drunk.
That was the whole point. It's trial by fire.
Right.
She learned.
That's what it is. She learned quick.
I kind of liked the idea that they integrated her more into the role of the rescuer alongside her dad in this one, whereas she was just the helpless victim in the last one.
I agree with you on that point. Like, the idea of it.
And I was like, okay, that's kind of cool. But I felt like in the first one, they established that, what's his name? Brian Mills has this team of other mercenaries, I guess is what you'd call them. Like his friend Sam, played by Leland Orser, or a few of these other guys.
Like John Grease and D.B. Sweeney, part of his crew.
And I'm like, okay, these guys, I want to see like all 4 of these guys as this mercenary badass team that kind of goes in and does something. But once again, they're relegated to just like a simple phone call and a yuck joke.
Yeah, they don't.
Like,
that's for the third one.
They don't do shit.
I do like in the first one. I kept wondering if they weren't going to pull him in. And it's like, all right, maybe it will. It's like, okay, they can't. And this time, seeing them again, you're like, all right, this is where they come in. It's probably going to be corny, but they'll come in. But they were like, fuck him. They were all like golfing, having a good time. Like, what? Oh, Brian's in trouble again.
I was wondering if there was going to be scenes like, man, I need to find some way to lose this guy's fucking
Yeah,
number.
I know.
It's never good when he calls.
I just imagine like having 4 of Liam Neeson's in there. It's kind of like Expendables if it was good.
Right.
Oh,
right.
jeez. That's what
I was thinking too.
After watching this movie, I'm not going to be surprised if you actually see him in the next Expendable movies.
Maybe.
But you know what? Like, I want to get back, though, to a point I was making before about with the bad filmmaking in this, where when the scene that Liam Neeson is driving around with his daughter, and they're wrecking into every fucking, car, everything
Wall.
that's in the road. Yeah, they're hitting walls, yet you see the car, and it is in such pristine condition. Like, you don't even see a broken taillight or anything. And I'm like, what? There's not a scratch on this goddamn car. And I couldn't help but be taken out of the movie.
Hey, man.
Just because they're just like...
It was a BMW commercial.
Or perhaps it was an homage to Commando.
Or you know what? This was more of an homage to Team America more than anything, about just how like they were just left a wake of destruction. You talk about not wanting fucking Americans in your country, especially when you have teenage girls throwing hand grenades wherever she fucking pleases.
No. The best part is, wait, I don't know what the degree is of spoilers here that we go into.
Not too much.
Okay,
Be
well,
careful.
there's a point where they park at this embassy, right?
Oh, yeah.
And they just did some shit. That needs to be accounted for. But he just kind of strolls right back into the city.
Like
It's almost stuff like
there's
that.
no questioning. There's no anything. I'm like, wow, how much of a badass is this guy?
Well, I do love these movies that show, like, in a foreign country, you can drive through the streets crazy, shoot off guns, apparently in this one, throw grenades, and nobody really comes after you. Even the people themselves just kind of keep on walking like it ain't no big deal.
Yeah.
I'm like, this is a disservice to these countries. Like Turkey is always that country that's like trying to go like, hey, we're part of Europe, we want to be accepted. And it's like, man, this is not helping them at all.
Nope, you're Kazakhstan right there with
Yeah,
Brian.
I know. I was like, that's where they should have filmed it. You would have seen some kid driving a taxi being pulled by a goat. Yeah. Liam Neeson chasing him.
Hurry up!
Yeah.
Get this going any faster!
Keep going. Oh man.
Oh man, I don't know. It's you know what? Actually, talking about this movie is so much fun. It gives me that like, yeah, I want to see it again. Well, not really.
No, you don't.
No, I guess I don't. I mean, look, there's no way to other way to put it. In that if you like the first one, this will be a letdown. I mean, I never expected it to not.
It's going to be a big letdown.
Yeah, it is. It's just so many things that go wrong that don't live up to what you want, and so many places where it has a chance to soar and does not, just kind of whimpers out at times. I was probably more disappointed in that, with deaths that just kind of seem ambiguous or just not that special, and an ending that was just kind of like, and characters, namely Famke Janssen, who was just there to be kidnapped and not much else. I do like a lot of things in concept, like Grant brought up Maggie Grace, having more of a role. Like, she was a victim the first time. The fact that she grew from that. Like, on paper, I like a lot of it, but you're right, co-host, in that it's the sloppy filmmaking. It's the amateurish filmmaking that ultimately brings this down more than anything else. And I didn't hate it because, it's a direct-to-video movie, and it's no worse than a lot of those I see it on Showtime late at night. So for me, it just comes in at pretty much a rental.
I mean, I feel pretty much the same. I thought that I like seeing Liam Neeson beat up a bunch of people, and it just felt like a lesser version of Taken 1 that I was kind of just laughing at certain parts that I know it was supposed to be. So I'd give it a rental as well.
Oh, well, I mean, the fact that you guys are giving it rentals after your, it seemed like somewhat a little kind of glowing reviews. I mean, as far as like, I mean, you're making this movie sound really fun. But for me, it wasn't fun. It was just kind of annoying and irritating that, I could see the potential in taking this, making it into a franchise, making Liam Neeson a badass, yet trying to keep some integrity still there in the material, but they didn't. Like I said before, they really did pull a Die Hard 2, where they just had no idea where to go besides use the same formula. And the thing is, they even repeats almost some of the same lines that they had in the first movie, where I'm like, wow, you guys took this property and you pretty much made that you made this into a parody of the first movie. And it's sad because, Liam Neeson is still acting his ass off. And, and I love seeing Neeson kick ass, but the majority of the fight scenes were somewhat kind of pathetic. And not so much because Liam Neeson didn't know how to beat ass. It's just, it was filmed poorly, it was done sloppily. And a lot of the action scenes were just so goddamn mediocre, but just... Oh man, just the stupid turns this movie makes. You can't help but, laugh at it. And when we were at that screening, plenty of people were laughing so much you felt kind of embarrassed that you enjoyed the first one so much. It's like, ugh. I hope this doesn't leave a bad taste in my mouth when I watch the first one again, because I have a feeling it might do that to a lot of people, yeah.
Because it never bordered on that for me. If it had done that, then I would have definitely given it some old bullshit.
It actually did on me. I mean, I have to give it some old bullshit.
Oh, fair enough.
Because, we saw what they did with that first one.
Sure.
And when I heard they were doing a sequel, I'm like, you know what? They don't need to. That was a perfect film on its own. Let Liam Neeson go fucking fight a volcano or something. Let him move on. The motherfuckers fought the elements, fought wolves. Let him conquer fucking aliens and whatever else you throw. Not these who gives a shit kidnappers. I mean, really, unless they're kidnapping the goddamn toddlers and tiara chicks and making them fucking sex slaves. But
I think Liam Neeson needs to fight himself.
Which that will happen at some point, because I know there's a guy running out there that kind of looks like a younger version of himself. Where I'm like, he needs to beat that guy's ass before that dude starts stealing all his roles. But yeah, man, I'm sorry. This is some old bullshit, and I'm sad to say that. I was really looking forward to this.
I mean, I always think it's funny that it's either rental or some old bullshit. I feel like you guys just need to have this middle, stumble upon it on TV level or something, where you're like...
That's sort of what rental is.
Yeah, it pretty much is.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. Actually, when you say stumble upon it on TV, that's...
Yeah, it's like, I guess I'll watch it.
That's somewhere between rental and some old bullshit.
Just keep going. But it's on TV. Keep going. Burn it.
I tell you what, this movie did make me cancel my travel plans for Turkey. Sorry.
Turkey's like, fuck.
No. The only way I'm going to Turkey is actually with Liam Neeson.
Yeah, exactly.
I'll be A-okay. That motherfucker will just give me if you get lost, here's some grenades, and we'll work it all out. Don't use that Apple Map shit.
Liam, I thought you were just an actor.
Yeah.
No, I also actually carry grenades.